We have survived almost 700 days in the Hardcore Kingdom, but the thing is, we can't really call it a kingdom if it's only one place. So for the next 100 days, we're gonna work on this island, and we're gonna transform it into a beautiful, bodacious village. And of always, I've been doing some work between cuts. So you could say that I'm feeling quite prepared, but there's only one way to find out, so why don't we put our rockets in hand and fly off to find our new home. But we can fly around our cabin right here, and we're gonna continue along the path. We'll keep on going, and then you'll notice that we have a little bit of a dock area right here, because this is going to be the place where we start building. Not exactly this dock area right here, but this island that you can see in front of us. You can see that it's not too much room, but it's enough for us to get a whole lot of work done and make this place incredibly detailed. But of course, we're gonna have to make this place a little bit uglier before we make it better. We might as well take out our axe and get a chopping. And just like that, an entire forest is gone. I must say, I do like the canvas that we have in front of us. I'm so excited to see what this place is gonna look like in 100 days. And if we head over here, you'll notice that we have plenty of materials to build with. In this chest right here, we have a ton of warped wood, we have tons of spruce right here, and in this chest right here, a bit of dark oak in this double chest right here, some deep slate in this double chest, some mangrove planks in here, bunch of plants, trees, and decoration items, some miscellaneous blocks here, a lonely stack of andesite, more stone in this double chest, and finally we have cobblestone in this large chest right here. And to be honest, I really haven't given too much thought to what I'm going to be building on this island, and I think that that's part of the fun of it all. But now that we have this chest monster right here, I'm thinking it might be a good idea to make ourselves a little bit of a starter house. That way we'll have some shelter for the night, along with some extra storage space so that we don't have to have all these chests lying out here in the open. Now, to be honest, I was quite nervous when it came to building this starter base. Both dark oak and crimson logs are two color palettes that I've never really used before, but I wasn't quite sure if I would do it well for the first time. And we have plenty of two tall flowers on the side, we also have an azalea bush, but we can head inside to take a look at the interior. As you can see, we have tons of chests and barrels. We have materials, in some of them they're kind of organized, but to be honest, most of them are still empty. It's the same thing on this side right here, and then we can head up the ladder, where we'll be met with a second other storage floor. The inside of the second floor is kind of split up into two different areas. We have barrels on the side on each, and then also some chiseled bookshelves, which I'll get around to putting some books in later. We'll be going for full interiors for every build during this transformation, which to be honest is a challenge that I'm really looking forward to. But right now we're gonna quickly sleep for the night, and as the sun rises, I'm gonna tell you about the second build of this island. You see, I want a reason to come back to this island, and to do that, we're gonna put a couple farms in this area. And in this area right in front of me, we're gonna have a bit of a clay farm. This past week, Waddles made a video where he ended up making a clay farm, and he did it in a way that I found incredibly efficient. So I'm gonna give my best shot at making a clay farm using his method, while maintaining the color palette that we have for the starter house. If you've gotten thus far in the video, please do consider leaving a like, and I'll see you after this replay mod cinematic, which will eventually start when it stops raining. Now I must say, this color palette is totally treating me well. As you can see, our clay farm is complete, and I think it's my favorite build that we've made thus far. You can see that we totally went above and beyond with all of the trapdoors that we have for details, which means that we might have to do it on this building too, which at this moment is okay with me. We still have plenty of more time left to build. You'll notice on the right side we have a little bit of a stable which happens to be housing a llama, although his wandering trader friend happens to be gone. I wonder what happened to him. And so we can head inside our awesome cozy cabin which holds our clay farm. You'll notice that we have mud on the floor and then we have dripstone on the ceilings, which over time will dry out and turn into clay. And knowing your boy Slip, we went all out with the interior too. We have tons of chiseled bookshelves with books in every single slot. And then we can head upstairs. We have a bit of a spiral staircase right here with tons more bookshelves where we can head up to the ladder, and we have our second floor right here. Once again, I went all out on the bookshelves. I'd been waiting for a time to use them, and this seemed like the perfect time. But if we look down right here, you'll notice that all of the mud has turned into clay blocks, which we can now get to harvesting. And while we harvest our clay, I want you to notice we also have pointed dripstone on the ceiling here too, and you can barely notice it, which I think is a pretty good thing. It's an essential part of this farm, but we didn't want it to stand out too much. And so as you can see in our hotbar, we have about a stack and a half of clay balls. And so we'll take all these water bottles and grab some dirt as well, which we'll then use to replant on the top floor. Once we've filled in our dirt, we're then going to take our water bottles and we're going to turn the dirt into mud. And you'll notice we have a little bit of a place right here where we can refill those water bottles. I did this by waterlogging some stairs, and this is the idea that I got from the Waddles video. But we'll continue to turn the dirt into mud, and then in no time we'll have even more clay blocks to smelt. And although it takes a ton of time to get clay blocks using this method, I think it looks cool, and I say that having a farm is better than having no farm at all. And so with 2 houses complete, we're gonna move onto the water. And by that, I mean we're gonna build ourselves a little bit of a ship over here. And as you can see in our chest right here, we have all of the materials that we're gonna need to build it. And so as always, there's no better way to do this than with an awesome replay mod cinematic. You're gonna have to let me know what you think of the ship in the comments. But without further ado, make the cinematic good, Editor Slip. And those of you that were closely following along with the replay mod cinematic may have seen that I was able to get a trident as well. We were attacked by a drowned, and I was able to come off victorious, so we'll have to get some enchantments on this bad guy later. But for now, I am happy to say that we've officially reached the halfway point in this playthrough, meaning that we only have 50 more days to continue to build on this island. And unfortunately, although we have plenty of stone and we have plenty of other types of wood, we don't have enough dark oak logs. So we're gonna have to do a quick pit stop on building so that we can do some deforestation. However, before we do that, there's one thing that I've been wanting to do for a while that we haven't done yet, and that is to finally put some armor trim on our armor. So for the time being, we're going to disable the mod pack that lets us not be able to see our armor. And we'll take all our armor off real quick, and then we're going to head into this barrel right here where we're going to have tons of gold, some eye armor trims, and some coast armor trims. With these materials in hand, we'll head over to the smithing table. We'll upgrade El Protector with the coast armor trim and some gold. Our diamond helmet will take the eye armor trim and some gold. We'll do the same thing with the eye armor trim for our leggings, and we'll finish off putting coast on our boots. And now talk about looking snazzy. This is my first time ever putting armor trims on in Minecraft, and look how cool this looks. But enough with the side quests. As the sun starts to set, we need to go and get some materials. We still have one more major farm to put on this island, and then we gotta make everything look pretty. So let's head on off to chop down some dark forest logs. And so now it is officially time to make our second and last farm for the island. And I have been subtly hinting at this farm the entire episode. In fact, it's actually right behind me. And so we are going to be making an automatic bamboo farm. This is something that I've been thinking about doing for a while now, but I just haven't had a chance to do it. If you've gotten thus far in the video, please do consider leaving a like. And so while it continues to rain bamboo, I say, let's get to a building. We are officially 70% of the way through the playthrough, and as you can see right here, we have a completed build. But before I get to showing you it, we have a wandering trader behind me. So I say, let's see what he has to offer. I think that Carl actually has some small drip leaf for us, so we're gonna get ourselves some. We can take out 24 emeralds from our storage room, and then buy as many small drip leaf as we can. It looks like we have 10. And man, it is unfortunate that he locked out, but I do think that having some small drip leaf will be important for the future operation. And without further ado, let us take a look at the interior of this build. As we head inside, it can be a little bit difficult to get through, but we have a couple of tables right here, and you can tell that everything is super decorated with trapdoors. And on the left side right here, we have a bit of an entrance to our bamboo farm. You can probably hear the mine shaft going around there, but we have a wall that's accented with tons of miscellaneous blocks that we haven't used before, and I think that it's kind of funky, and I'm glad that we were able to use these materials. And where this trapdoor is right here, we can head on over, and you'll notice that we have a minecart that's spitting out bamboo for us. If I zoom in right here, you'll notice that I have a bit of a chest, and we can hop inside, and you'll see that we have some bamboo ready for us. I had really wanted to fit the bamboo farm inside the house, but I just couldn't. But now that the build is complete, I'm actually really happy with how it came out. And so we can head up the stairs and head up this ladder right here to the second floor. And as you may guess, this area is strictly for storage. We once again went all out with dark oak trapdoors right here, and we have some spruce fences. And I really can't tell if this place is over accented or under accented. I feel like it's bland in that it only holds storage, but I still like how it looks. And if we head out the backside right here, you'll see that we're right up on our ship, which I must say I am quite happy with. I really think that it adds to the ambiance of the island. However, we only have 30 days left to build on this island, and so we're gonna spend the rest of the playthrough decorating this entire area with farms, with flowers, with ponds. Essentially, this is my favorite part of any Minecraft playthrough. You can go with your creative impulse and just build whatever you want in the area, and in my opinion, it always turns out pretty. So with our farms complete and some builds on the land, let's get to building this beautiful island. If you're still watching here, I really appreciate you. Your support really means the world to me. I love making these videos for you all. And so if you're new here, subscribing really would mean the world.
This old habit's got a hold on me, won't let go of me. This old habit's got a grip on me, won't set me free, won't leave me be. I can't shake it, I can't break it, I can't get away from you, you pull me in. I can't shake it, I can't break it, I can't get away from you, you pull me in. You're sweet, oh Lord, it is too much for me. You got me on my knees. I know I should just walk away, but your hold on me won't get away. I can't shake it.
And of course, as soon as I'm starting to give the tour, I notice that I've missed a flower. So we'll have to fix that at a later point, but you'll notice that we have pots with flowers all over this island, and they make an awesome difference in the texture and in the color that we have around the island. But we can take our light blue sleeping bag and head to sleep for the night and continue the tour in the morning. And so you'll notice that I've gotten around to detailing the entire pathway around us. We went for a mix of dark oak logs, dark oak planks, spruce planks, deep slate, some clay, and then we also have some rooted dirt right here. I like the dark vibe of the pathway, and I think that it matches pretty well with the palette that we have for the builds. I figured it might be nice to have a makeshift well right in the middle of the island. That way our villagers can get some water as they see fit. And then over here in the wheat fields, we have a little bit of a cart. You can definitely tell that this is a farming people, so it's important to have some extra storage and some wheels to get around. We of course have our clay farm right here, which I think is my favorite out of all the builds. It's definitely the most detailed, and as you can tell, I really like detail. We have some 2 tall tall flowers over on the left side, and I think that the wheat fields that we have just completely fit all of the builds in the area. I ended up putting some small drip leaf in the pools of water to hydrate the crops, and if you've never done this before, I highly recommend doing it. I think it looks awesome. We can continue along our path over to our starter base, where you'll notice I kind of kept all of this storage over here. It's definitely a bit of a storage monster that I'm gonna have to clean up later, but I think that we'll keep all of the chests right here just for the aesthetic. And these trapdoors right here enable for me to get up and use the storage how I want to. And then I think that they look okay like this for the aesthetic too. We have our first of our little watchtowers, which is decorated with more pots and flowers. And then over on the back end, we have a little bit of a potato field, and it's outlined with tons of watermelons. This backside of the island is totally lush, and I really like how it came out. As we continue along to the right side of the house, you'll notice that we have a little bit of a fishing dock here. It's got even more potatoes and melons down on this side, and then we have tons of accents with oak trapdoors, spruce trapdoors, some barrels, and a lantern with fences. And although we're past 800 days in this world, I actually don't think that I have a fishing rod, which I guess is something that we're gonna have to change in the future. And of course it starts to rain, which I guess in theory would help us with our fishing situation. But we'll continue on because I think that this place looks pretty regardless. You'll notice that this end of the island is pretty much decorated the same, and we might as well head inside for a moment to see how much bamboo we've gotten. If we head into our chest, you'll notice that we have about 9 stacks of bamboo, which I know isn't too much, but we also don't need any, so I would say that's pretty good progress. And so if we head out the right side of our bamboo farm, you'll be met with another tower. I feel like the flag turned out a little bit weird on this one, but we're still gonna go with it. And I find this corner of our island to be just kind of so cozy feeling. I think that the walls and the bushes and the plants just have a great texture line and great detail leading over into the horizon. And especially in the rain, it kind of just feels cozy. We can head along over to the back side of the house where our sailboat resides. And I really like the look at the rest of the island from this direction. And since it is now dark, I hope that you notice that I have spent a ton of time on the lighting. I'm pretty sure that everything is spawn proof on the island, and it is lit up with such a nice ambiance. Honestly, rain or shine, night or day, it's really nice to hang out in this area. But let's head to sleep real quick to get rid of the rain. And so we have another dock right here where you could take a small boat to head to your main ship. And I knew that this island was a good canvas to build with, but this place turned out so much better than I was even expecting. I might have to say that this could be my favorite spot in the kingdom so far, which I'd love to know your thoughts. What's your favorite build that I've made so far in the series? Maybe it's the windmill, maybe it's the mega cathedral that we made last episode, or maybe it's one of the many smaller builds that we have in the kingdom. But regardless, I would really like to know. Our goal is to expand the kingdom over time and to have plenty of other places just like this where we can visit. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please do consider subscribing. And as always, I'll leave you with one last cinematic of the kingdom.